If it was literally just a bill that just said TikTok, it'd be way less of a problem. But this is a really big problem. You know why? It's not just because of ByteDance, because ByteDance absolutely has its hands in a lot of stuff, but nowhere near as bad as Tencent does. And if you've heard that company's name before, I think you know where I'm going with this. Yeah, TikTok and ByteDance have their hands in a lot of companies, but Tencent has their hands in everything. So you guys may have heard of the story before, but it's back again. Remember under the Trump administration? He was talking about how he wanted to ban TikTok so bad. He tried to do it because it was disseminating transgender, Antifa, woke, cultural Marxist, Leninist, homo fascist, politically correct propaganda onto the youth. But unfortunately that failed for him. He believes it was unfortunate that it failed. I believe it was good that our government can't just ban whatever social media platform that they want just on a whim. But there was a lot of talk about that under Donald Trump. A lot of people thought that it was going to be gone under Biden, but let me tell you, he's more conservative than you think. It's back. Yup, everyone. Ooh, baby, it's back. A bill that could ban TikTok in the US advances quickly in the House. It passed a House committee 50-0. It's pretty wild. So what's happening this time? Basically what's going on is that the US has decided, Congress has specifically decided that it's probably in everybody's best interest that they can decide which platforms can and cannot exist in the country due to their own personal beliefs about what misinformation is. And so they drafted a bill specifically targeting Facebook, but could have much broader repercussions for our media landscape based on the idea that foreign agents and governments, China, is scraping the data of US companies that engage with US citizens and using it for their evil plot to take over America and have us speak Mandarin Chinese by like 2023 or something. Oh wait. Oh no. Bing chilling. Anyways, with that being said, TikTok didn't like this very much. TikTok directly tried to take it to Congress by putting through an alert on people's devices when they load up TikTok in certain places and telling them to pressure their Congress people into not supporting this bill. I think that was a pretty bad move from them, because a lot of the Congress people were like, oh no, they're trying to stop us from banning them. We have to ban them now.
The pressure campaign that TikTok put in place today, where they forced a pop-up on the app that called members of Congress and also told a lie that we were forcing an outright ban, which this bill is not, proves the danger. They sort of prove the entire point. Imagine if those lies were allowed to spread on topics like our election or a foreign war. So that's what we're trying to guard against. And in our construct, users can continue to enjoy the app so long as we fix the ownership problem.
TikTok is owned by ByteDance. The editor-in-chief of ByteDance is himself the secretary of the very Chinese Communist Party cell embedded in the leadership of ByteDance. And his duty, according to him, is to make sure that TikTok and other products abide by correct political direction. And so that's why we took this action today. The House Energy and Commerce Committee voted 50-0 unanimously. That has not happened with regard to any bill affecting this particular platform. And now we look forward to its passage in the House.
Yeah. So now they feel like they have the ability to go forward with completely banning TikTok in a bit of a roundabout way. All right. Let's take a little look at what's in the bill, and then I want to read the bill itself a bit too. So it's just racism, right? A lot of it is racism. It's like mostly filled by anti-Chinese racism. Yeah. 100. Yeah. There's some actual like reasons to be concerned about. There are some reasons to be concerned about the amount of data that TikTok takes up, but they're not pushing any laws through about stopping how much data the companies can absorb from their users and what they can sell and how they can use that. They're not pushing through any new laws about that. They just want to ban China from doing it, basically, right? They want to be able to take as much data from you as possible and use it for their own personal gain. But they just want to stop China from being able to have access to any of the information. And but that could lead to the popular video sharing app TikTok being unavailable in the United States is quickly gaining traction in the House as lawmakers voice concerns about the potential platform's ability to surveil and manipulate Americans. The White House said it's providing technical support for the bill, and Joe Biden even came out to say that he would sign the bill into law, effectively banning TikTok in the United States if they were to fully pass it through Congress. The bill takes a two-pronged approach. First, it requires ByteDance Ltd, which is based in Beijing, to divest TikTok and other applications it controls within 180 days of enactment of the bill, or those applications will be prohibited in the United States. And second, it creates a narrow process that lets the executive branch prohibit access to an app owned by a foreign adversary if it possesses a threat to national security. So basically what this means, so this isn't just about ByteDance, okay? This isn't just about ByteDance. This is very important here. So firstly, what this does is it says ByteDance needs to sell off TikTok within 180 days of the bill passing. And if they don't, then it will be banned. And also it says it gives the president more power over normal human beings' lives, which I think should raise eyebrows to begin with. It gives the president unilateral ability to ban whatever social media platform or app or website in the country as it sees fit, as long as it can make the excuse that it is a threat to national security, right? Which I think can cause a lot of problems, because we have a lot of things in this country that are owned by foreign countries, and as long as we just say that they're an adversary in some way, however you want to describe that, as long as the current administration believes that they're an adversary or they don't want to deal with them anymore, they can unilaterally just say the entire country is not able to access that site whatsoever. While misinformation is a really important thing that we need to tackle in this country, I'm not going to say that TikTok isn't a massive disseminator of misinformation. They absolutely are, but they're not passing any laws about tightening regulations on companies to tighten their misinformation, disinformation, like fake news or like manipulation policies on their platform. They're just like China, and that's basically it. Which is such a poor approach, because what happened to the misinformation, disinformation here in the country? Like, sure, you sell off TikTok, but then it just does the same thing again. But in the States, like, what about Facebook? And it's like, in its decades of scraping up hidden information from its users. Now, TikTok does a lot of that too. All of these apps not only track your data and track your information off the app, but once you put them on your phone, they track them off the app as well. So it tracks where. That's why they want your location. They know they can tell. They know when you're sleeping. They know when you're awake. They know where you're walking. They know where your job is. If you don't even tell them, they know how fast you normally drive in your car. They know your family members. They know your address. They know what the things that you like, that you don't like, all this type of stuff, right? And they can easily sell it off. Like, how does this help? Like, what if TikTok just remains a US company and then just sells the information to China anyways, and Xi Jinping is scrolling through your folder? You know, I don't want Xi Jinping to scroll through my folder, but this law doesn't stop that. That's not what they're actually going for. They're just like, we hate Chinese people. We hate Chinese people, and we hate it when they own shit in America. So we want to ban them from owning shit in America. And that's all this is, really. I buy something online. Next thing I know, I see the commercials for it on Facebook and YouTube. Not even that, it's crazier. You talk about wanting to probably buy something with your phone or your Alexa or your computer or anything with your mic on or something, and then you see ads about it. I've seen that. I've personally seen that type of stuff happen without even Googling anything about it yet. And then I just see ads for it. Or you Google something without even actually buying something yet, and then all of a sudden you see these weird personalized ads with literally the last listing that you were looking at on some website, and they just pull it up. They have wild stuff about you, yeah, and it needs to be reined back. I'm never going to be against a bill that says that that stops companies from having so much of your data. I'm never going to be against a bill like that, but that's not what this bill is. It's just a bill that says Chinese people, and that's basically it. That's literally it. That's it. It's an important bipartisan measure to take on China, our largest geopolitical foe, which is actively undermining our economy and security, Johnson said on Thursday. Yes, it's just a Chinese bill. That's literally all this is. Because they don't want to they don't actually want to do any bills like that, because that would hamper their own ability to illegally spy on American citizens through the NSA and other intelligence agencies. And they would never want to compromise that. They love spying on Americans. They're probably spying on you. They're probably spying on me right now. They know what color underwear I'm wearing, or if I am at all. It's crazy. They're watching the stream right now. It's true. It's true. It's true. Joe Biden, get out of my computer, Joe Biden. I want to take a look at the bill. Can we grab this bill? Is this it? Yeah, here we go. Let me see if we can read the bill a little bit. It's not a really long bill, it seems. It's a pretty short bill. Let's take a look. To protect the national security of the United States from the threat posed by foreign adversary controlled applications such as TikTok and any successor application or service, and any other application or service developed and provided by ByteDance Ltd. Or any entity under the control of ByteDance Ltd. They really hate ByteDance specifically. They got your ass, not my ass. Being enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives, the United States Congress and Assembly. This act may be cited as it's the ban TikTok app. General prohibition of foreign adversarial controlled applications. It shall be unlawful for an entity to distribute, maintain, or update, or enable the distribution, maintenance, or updating of a foreign adversary controlled application by carrying out within the land or maritime borders of the United States any of the following: provided services to distribute, maintain, or update such foreign adversary and controlled applications, including any source code of the application by means of a market, including the online mobile application store. They're taking away your gotcha game Chinese loot boxes. I hope you know that. Goodbye Chinese waifu gotcha games on your phone. Oh no, dude. Can you even imagine? Can you even imagine, man? Providing internet hosting services, enable distribution, updating such a foreign adversary controlled application for users within the land and maritime borders of the United States. Shall, in the case of application that satisfies the definition of foreign adversary controlled application pursuant to the subsection G3A, beginning at the date of 180 days of enactment of this act. B, in case of an application that satisfies the definition of a foreign adversary controlled application pursuant to subsection G3B, beginning at the date of 180 days after the relevant determination of the president under such subsection. So yeah, this just means the president has carte blanche ability to be able to declare whatever company he wants, as long as they're owned by a quote adversary country to just ban them if they don't sell off or discontinue their services. Now, is there like a general standard? Foreign adversary means foreign government or foreign non-government person engaged in a long-term pattern of serious instances of conduct significantly adverse to the national security of the United States, security and safety of the United States persons is what that is. That's what that means. That's all the law means. So that means if a app is owned by a person that the president doesn't like, or a government or a company in that's stationed or like that's headquartered in a country that the president says that they don't like, then they can be considered a foreign adversary, and now he can like single-handedly ban the app or product or service if they don't like it. That's way too much power. We need to stop giving so much power to the president. It needs to stop, dude. It really, listen, dude, ever since we got this country, we've been trying to make a king. It needs to stop. I can't wait for Trump to get this power. Dude, like a government won't give Trump like a preferable trade deal or something, and then he'll just ban Discord. Just so you know, Discord can't get swooped up in this law. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But it is that wasn't a joke, actually. If this bill passes, the president could more likely than not actually ban Discord. Couldn't this let Trump, who owns a social media site, ban pretty much any social media site because they have foreign operations? In many ways, yeah, it can. As long as the president makes the determination that it's owned by a foreign adversary, it could just be a single person. Really, then he has the opportunity to ban them. He doesn't have to. And the crazy thing is that usually when it comes to a lot of national security decisions, that courts usually defer to the president and the executive because the Constitution says that usually rests in his or her hands, right? And so there is no recourse for this. Once you give the president this power, they can do whatever they want to it. They can do whatever they want with it. And there's nothing, and a court isn't going to step in and say, no, this isn't a threat to the country. Courts don't usually determine what is and is not a threat to the country. That's usually Congress and the executive's job. King of the internet. Yeah, Donald Trump will specifically ban every single social media platform and then only allow Truth Social to remain supreme, and he will be king of the internet. Finally, this bill under Trump, dude, this bill under anyone. Entity owned to control such applications shall provide upon request users of such applications within the land and maritime borders of the United States. Let's see if there's anything else interesting in here. Divestitures does not apply to foreign adversary controlled applications with respect to which a qualified divestiture is executed before the date. So yeah, this is basically what they're saying is that the app won't get shut down as long as you divest fast enough. Services, yeah. This is just cleaning up all the information. Civil penalties, application violation. Entity that violates subsection A will be subject to pay a civil penalty to the amount not exceeded by the amount that results from multiplying 5,000 by the number of users within the land or maritime borders of the United States determined that has access, maintained, or updated foreign adversary control. Wait, so if they don't do this and this bill passed, TikTok is going to be fined $5,000 per person who logged on to TikTok. Okay, all right. They'll owe $5,000 per TikToker. 5K per e-girl. Is she worth it? Oh, your social media belong to us. Maybe we are wrong. Maybe someone wants to buy TikTok and ByteDance or whatever doesn't want to sell. Here's the thing. TikTok is massive. TikTok is in other countries besides the US. I find it very unlikely that they just sell TikTok rather than just not operate in the United States. Like, sure, you'd be losing a massive part of your audience, but you'd be losing less of your audience than just stopping operating your app to begin with, just entirely, right? It's Joe over for TikTok. It's Jover. Does Biden think this will make his chances of re-election higher? He's still one of them old school I hate China Democrats, you know? So I don't think he really cares about the election part. He's just like, I hate China. and that's just kind of it. It's just him boomer posting at that point. It's just he hates China, and there's not really more to it. They hate China. The crazy thing about this is because when Donald Trump tried to sign an executive order banning TikTok and that failed, what happened afterwards is that after Biden got into office, he then rescinded that executive order, but then put TikTok under investigation about whether or not it is violating U.S. law and/or is a national security threat to the country. The thing is, it's been 4 years, and he's still saying that investigation is still going on to this very day. They've not made a determination about whether or not TikTok, in and of itself, is dangerous to the populace to the point of needing to be banned. He still hasn't figured that out yet. But instead of realizing that, I have no information to prove whether or not this is bad, he just goes on to say it should be banned anyways, and he'll just sign it. He'll just sign it. He'll just sign on to signing it, no matter what. If it has the possibility of passing. I think TikTok is pretty dangerous when it comes to the amount of things that they take from your phone and the information that they hold, but in the dangerous in a real national security sense when it comes to specifically China using it as like a chum bucket hat to control people and overthrow the government. No, I don't really think so. If I'm going to be honest with you, all the information that China wants, they can get from any other country, any other company that they have their hands in the United States. Our information is leaking out the back of our phones 24/7 because the US doesn't really want to do anything about that. We're constantly getting scam calls. Like, apparently giving away your email and phone number anywhere now can lead to you getting harassed for the rest of your life. Your personal data is just out there somewhere. There's constantly leaks going on when it comes to large organizations that hold a lot of private, personal, and sensitive data from us. If there's anything that China wants on you, they probably have it already. That's just what I'm saying, right? Does that make spying good or bad? No, but what we know at the end of the day is that remember how they called in the Singaporean CEO of TikTok to talk like multiple times, like over and over and over again, and they're are you Japanese or Chinese? And they do that 24/7 to him while he's there, and he has to like fend off boomers talking about how many times a day he glubs on Xi Jinping's cock. And he's like, I've never met Xi Jinping, or like he doesn't talk to Xi Jinping. Do you have Xi Jinping on speed dial? How well can you speak Mandarin Chinese? Senator, I am Singaporean. I am Singaporean, Senator.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, okay. I'm Singaporean.
Yeah, 3 hours of anti-Asian racism by 80-year-olds who have no clue what they're talking about, and then they thought they got enough information to ban TikTok from Singapore, China. How do you spell that in Chinese? I want to type that in. Senator, it's not Chinese. Senator, is that near Sichuan? Is that a ghetto in Beijing, Singapore? Curious. Oh, please, Senator. But Senator. Yes, Singapore, my favorite Chinese city. True. That's very true. That's honestly super true if you think about it. That's so true. The Attorney General shall conduct investigations related to potential violations of subsection A or B, and if such investigation results in the determination that a violation has occurred, the Attorney General shall pursue enforcement under paragraph 1 and may bring action in an appropriate district court of the United States, appropriate relief, including civil penalties under paragraph 1, right? And so that's basically it. And provides respect to foreign adversary. If the application of any provision of this section is held in violation with respect to foreign adversary controlled application that satisfies the definition of such term pursuant to subsection G3A, such invalidity shall not affect or preclude the application of the same provision of this section to such foreign adversary controlled application by means of subsequent determination. Nothing in this act may be construed to authorize the Attorney General to pursue enforcement under the subsection other than to enforce A and B. Authorize the Attorney General to pursue enforcement under the subsection against an individual user of a foreign adversary controlled application, except as expressly provided herein to alter or affect any other authority provided or established under the authority over another provision of federal law. Oh, they can go after individuals. Definitions: controlled foreign adversary. The term controlled foreign means with respect to covered company or entity, that such company or other entity is a foreign person that is domiciled in its headquarters in, has its principal place of business in, or is organized under the laws of a foreign adversary country. An entity with respect to a foreign person or a combination of foreign persons described in subparagraph A. A person subject to direction or control of a foreign person or entity described in A. And this isn't determined by a court. This is just determined by the president and the attorney general that operates. The term covered company means an entity that operates directly or indirectly, including through a parent company, subsidiary, or affiliate, a website, desktop application, mobile application, or augmented or immersive technology that permits the user to create an account. It has more than 1 million monthly active users, enables one or more users to generate or distribute content, enables one or more users to view generated content. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, so yeah, this includes any social. This is just social media. If there's a social media app that is operated by a single person, company, subsidiary, or affiliate with a company that's stationed in China, it can be shut down. It does not mean an entity that operates a website. Primary purpose to allow users to post product reviews, business reviews for an adversary controlled application. The term means a website, desktop application, these types of applications that is operated directly or indirectly, including a parent company, subsidiary, by ByteDance, TikTok, a subsidiary or successor to the entity in the clause, an entity owned or controlled by indirectly by 1, 2, or 3. A company that is controlled by a foreign adversary and as determined by the that is determined by the president to present a significant threat to national security of the United States following the assurances of the public notice proposing such determination and public report to Congress submitted no less than 30 days. Oh yeah, well there it is. Yeah, the president can determine that if there's a significant threat, they can just shut down a social media platform. Okay. But with notice, you have to have a notice that the social media platform is going to get shut down. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a bit worrisome. I'm going to be honest with you. Wait, I want to see, because they were talking about user generated content, but what did they exclude? Immersive primary purpose is to allow users to post product reviews, business reviews, travel information, and reviews. Okay, this just talks about reviews mostly. But what about like an in-game chat, or what about like the ability to make mods or something? Because they didn't cover stuff like that. Yeah, it would be great if they actually tried to deal with privacy concerns. The massive terms of service that allow a company to f your mom. if you agree to this, we get to f your mom. The CEO gets to f your mom. But instead, they just want to hate China more, and that's literally it. That's the only thing. Sucks so bad. Yeah, this sucks. This sucks ass. This sucks a lot of ass, right? If it was literally just a bill that just said TikTok, it'd be way less of a problem. But this is a really big problem. You know why? It's not just because of ByteDance, because ByteDance absolutely has its hands in a lot of stuff, but nowhere near as bad as Tencent does. And if you've heard that company's name before, I think you know where I'm going with this. Yeah, TikTok and ByteDance have their hands in a lot of companies, but Tencent has their hands in everything. And Tencent is one of the largest companies in the world, headquartered and operated from China. And if this bill passes, the president can now basically say that anything that Tencent has their hands into, in many ways, has their hands into, that is in a way where the president can now like wave his hand and say that I believe that this is a foreign that there's a foreign adversary, could possibly make the argument that they can just ban it now. So yeah, this is a lot of games as well. So games like Riot Games, so League of Legends, League can get shut down. Joe Biden will shut down League of Legends. Wait a second, that don't sound too bad. Yeah, Genshin Impact could get shut down. Epic Games, Fortnite could get shut down. Ubisoft could probably get shut down. Right? They could make the argument. But Act Blizz could get shut down. That one actually doesn't sound too bad either, if I'm going to be honest with you. Path of Exile can get shut down because Tencent owns an 80% share. This is in 2020. In Path of Exile, that new what type game is that? TTRPG or some? What the shitty acronym on that? Never mind, I support this bill. Wait, this bill's cracked! Wait a second, this bill's cracked! Grinding Gear Games, the people who make Path of Exile, could possibly get shut down. Tencent owns 80%. Action RPG. Yeah, there you go. Trying to make the game sound good. Okay, what about Platinum Games? You know, the people who make Bayonetta. They could get shut down. Paradox Interactive could possibly get shut down. Discord could get shut down. That one also doesn't sound too bad. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. But yeah, Discord could also get shut down. Say goodbye to your Discord, kitten, bitch. You're done. Joe Biden is ending your long-term toxic Discord relationship. I hope you're ready. No more sleep calls for you, weirdo. Get a job. Oh, man. Elon Musk won't like this either because Tencent actually has a hold in Tesla too. Last March, Tencent bought a 5% share in EV makers Tesla Motors, and the stock has risen about 12% since Tencent's investment, which complemented its stakes in the Chinese EV maker NIO as well. Now, I think the argument that they would make, because somebody would say this is stretching, this wouldn't be the first time the executive has stretched the law to be able to increase their own power over the economy, the government, normal human beings, right? This wouldn't be the first time. But I would say the argument would be, if this company is connected to the CCP in China and it owns part of another of like this company to the point where it has the ability to gain access to the intermachinations of the company, that means that it is now corrupted by foreign investment and a foreign adversary, meaning the app needs to meaning the company needs to be forced to sell off those stocks of that Tencent or ByteDance or whatever other Chinese company owns, or the company could be liable to get shut down. It's actually pretty scary. They own a lot. Yeah, they could shut down Snapchat too. They own a lot of stuff, right? In a globalized, interconnected world, it's very hard for you to be able to get rid of this type of stuff. This isn't just something that's connected to ByteDance and TikTok. This is a much broader bill meant to jeopardize our social media landscape, specifically because they don't want to pass anything that's going to jeopardize their ability to stalk you day in and day out. To stalk you day in and day out when it comes to your privacy concerns, but instead just say China instead and pretend like they're actually doing something. At the end of the day, I mean, TikTok servers are owned by an American company, supervised by the United States. They could look into TikTok servers and see what's going on anytime that they want. Actually, the people who work at TikTok are Americans. They're stationed here in America. Here's the thing, like, a lot of the things that happen with TikTok happen in the United States. And I'm going to tell you right now, the United States government is spying on you through TikTok. Okay. Is the CCP? Probably, to some degree. Sure. Maybe. They probably have some access to some of that information. And the thing that sends it over the edge is that there are workers who work in TikTok who are in China who have access to some of the information that's kept on US servers. But we can keep an eye on that whenever they want. They just don't do it. They just don't care to do that. They just don't care to do that. Instead, they just want to say F China, which is not something I'm going to be getting behind. This gives way too much power to the executive. This gives way too much power for these to these House members and Congress people. We're going on a complete power trip with this, and it sets a horrible precedent for our country that the president can shut down whatever social media platform that they don't agree with. if you're not approved by the presidency's Ministry of Truth, then your social media account gets shut down. Don't worry, citizen. The president is going to save you from misinformation. We have determined that this app is affiliated with a Chinese person, and so we will shut it down for you. You're welcome. You're welcome, citizen. Oh, our services need no thanks, but we will appreciate them nonetheless. Can you pass this and just ban League of Legends? You could just ban League. That's true. That would go so crazy. You don't even get it. That would go so crazy. I think that's disingenuous, Shark. They don't want to. I don't think that they really want to pass any law about privacy about privacy in the United States. They would have if they would have tried. I haven't heard any bill recently about shoring up privacy concerns about these social media platforms. They're bringing them on to yell at them. Those bills don't really go anywhere. They just want to say China. I 100% believe they do really want to say China. That's some mind reading through distortion right there. I agree. Part of privacy legislation, dislike kings, use better rhetoric. Read all the stuff, Shark. You've been typing so much. You've typed like 8 paragraphs in chat. I can't read literally everything. And okay, on the like, it's disingenuous to say that they just like want to say China. I really don't think it. Have you heard Congress people's opinions when it comes to things in America that have a connection to China and the Chinese government as a whole, and even people who are in China and people who are from China or have connections to China who do business in the United States? I don't think that's disingenuous at all. Like they are very clear. I don't know. It's just very weird. They're very clear about how they, even in this bill that we read, wasn't it at the very top that they said they want to reduce China's influence in the United States, just period, just as it is. So like, it's not a broad generalization. It's just a generalization of. Maybe there are people in Congress who don't agree with that. It is the general idea of like Congress people that like China's well, for one, I don't disagree that China's a foreign like an adversary to the US on the geopolitical stage. I'm not going to disagree with that. But it's very clear that what they want to do is completely destroy China's influence in the United States wherever it may be and however it may be. Like 100%, yeah. I think they've made that very clear. Even Biden agrees with that. Biden hasn't been doing necessarily a trade war with China, but Biden has been absolutely doing a chip and microprocessor manufacturing war with China this entire time. Yes, absolutely. There's a reason why he said he wanted to sign this bill, and it's not simply because of the idea of misinformation and disinformation. It's because of its connection to China. Every single time they have a TikTok CEO on, they always ask him questions about his connection to China. What their concern is China and Xi Jinping and the CCP with this entire thing all the time. Yes, they do want to say China. They don't like China. They hate China, and they don't want them to have any foothold in America wherever it may be. Yes, 100%. Am I wrong? Am I wrong on that? China like a boomer chud. I think a lot of them are also like China like a boomer chud. Yes, that too. I don't think it's 100% that, but yeah, a lot of that too. Yeah, 100%. Yes, absolutely. That boomer chud mentality is very rife in the Democratic Party as well. The Democratic Party is also pretty conservative, especially when it pertains to China. Yes, it's not 100. That's not 100% the issue, but yeah, also yeah. Yes, 100%. It's there.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.